Actually, in my little session, I'm going to look into how to add icons to a WebFOCUS portal. So I got my little portal in here, and instead of just having those folder names, I would like to add some icons in front of the name of the folder. How to achieve that one? Very simple. There's a nice documentation. So if you look into the manual, you're going to find a manual, a documentation showing how to add those elements. So I'm going to put the documentation link into the description of the video. So if you go through, you're going to get all the information, whatever you have to do. So I'm going to go for the font awesome version, and in here the manual says navigate to this specific thing to figure out which icons exist. First thing, some of the samples in here are not working. So you might want to look into the full catalog of available icons instead of using the ones that are in the manual, because you might want to get some more. So it's asking you to go to that element. You see in here, it's referring to version 4 of Font Awesome icons. In the meantime, there's version 5 and version 6, and WebFOCUS switched to newer versions. So if you're on a newer version of WebFOCUS, you might want to go to version 5. So we go to Get Latest. So in here, we now in Font Awesome. There's two versions of Font Awesome. One is the commercial one is going to be the free version. We're going to go for the free version, so we're going to go for that one, which is bundled with WebFOCUS. So let me accept cookies here. So to get icons, you can scroll down here and you can explore your icons in here. You can search your icons in here. So let's say I want something like let's go for something like, let's see if we got a cow. We see there's some icons of a cow. Important thing in here, WebFOCUS comes with the free version of Font Awesome. So you might want to go and filter for free here. And it comes with version 5. So if you're on a recent version of WebFOCUS, meaning 9.2, 9.3, you want to go for version 5 of the icon. So see, the cow is not available in that version, but we got a cowboy hat in here. We can also go for something else. So let's go for a chart. Let's search for a chart. So you see, those are the available elements for those things. You could also navigate on the left side to get to categories to find something that you like. So there's a battery. So we're going to go for something like, let's go for, you see a line chart in here, a bar chart. We have a pie chart. So actually I like bar charts. So I'm going to go for a bar chart. If you click on it, you're going to see that information in here. On top, you can change and toggle. You see there's one with a very thick line. There's one with a slightly thinner line. There's one with even thinner lines. So you can select the version of the icon you like. In here, you're going to see which one is supported, which version of Font Awesome is supported. So you might want to make sure you're below 5.8, because WebFOCUS comes currently with version 5.8 of Font Awesome. So make sure in here the number that is listed in here is below 5.8. So I don't like the very thick line, so I'm going to go for that one. Don't worry about colors, because colors are going to be controlled by the WebFOCUS style. So the only thing you need is you have that class information in here. So now we can go back to WebFOCUS and configure WebFOCUS to use that icon. So let's go in here. Actually, let me best practice in here. Let me go to Notepad. Let me go in here. Let's paste that one, because I don't need everything. I just need that part of it. So with that information, we can now go back to WebFOCUS Hub. There's my icon portal. So there's folder 1. I can go to properties in here, and I can go to advanced. And in here, I can add that element. I can also enable it for children if I want to. So that's what goes in here. I'm going to save it in here. So I'm going to go back to my portal. I'm going to refresh my portal. It's not yet visible. Why is it not visible? Because I enabled that show menu icons for children on folder 1, but actually I wanted to go on the icon portal and enable it here as well. So save it, go back to the icon portal, refresh it, and now we see the icons. In here, we don't have something for folder 2 and 3 yet, but we see we got that line chart. So we see that thin line might be even a little bit too thin for our sample. So we might want to go back to my list of available icons. So instead of that thinner line, I might want to go for the very thick one, which is FAS. So the first thing is always that line thickness, the line style of that chart. So if we go back in here, we go back over here, we go down, we select properties in here. So we might want to go for FAS instead of FAR. Save that one, go back to the portal, refresh the portal. So it's going to get a slightly thicker line. If you want to go and change colors, that's part of the theme that I'm going to cover in a separate session. But in here, you see there's strange icons, which are placeholders. So I want to get something else in here. So let's collect a few more icons. So again, you can search for the icon you like, but you could also go for something in here. So just select something in here. So you're going to find an emoji. You can go for people. Of course, you can remove the chart in here. So in here, we now back to everything in here. So I can select things in here. So you see all the icons. So I got user and people now. So we can take something like a snowboarding person. So we're going to go for that thing here. So copy, just click to copy it. Go back to WebFOCUS again. Paste it here because we only need that part here, not the full HTML string. So copy it. Go back in here. Go to folder 2. Enable that show menu icons for sub elements as well. So save it, which means the subfolder of those folders might contain the icons as well. There is no subfolder, so we're going to go for folder 2. We have the properties in here, so we're going to go for that fast snowboarding thing. Save it again. Refresh it. And we got a little snowboarder. Let me zoom, by the way. So I got a little snowboarding guy here on my folder too. That's the way to enable those custom icons on WebFOCUS portals. Again, depending on the version, you might want to make sure you're checking the right element. So if you're on a version 9, you always want to go for the library version 5 something. So don't go for 6, don't go for 4, go for 5 something. Again, if you look, let's go for the doctor. You see that one was added in version 5.0, which means you're fine with version 5.8 of WebFOCUS using that element. So again, you might find elements that are not in your version of WebFOCUS, but in here, the safe way, go to female. You see it's added in 5, so you should be safe. So you could use those female type of icons. So we can go, let me go for the outline version. So we're going to go for that far female thing. Moving back over here, go to in here, paste it again. Make sure you're only picking that part. Go back in here. So folder 3 is currently not having an icon at all. So we're going to go on folder 3. We add our little female person in here, save it. Go back to the icon portal. And instead of the placeholder, we should see something, but in here you see it's not working. So that means if you see that icon, it means that specific icon type is not part of WebFOCUS implementation. So that alpha female is not going to work. If you see that kind of thing happening, go back in here. So you see that one, the file version might not be there. So you might want to go and double check the fuzz and far version of the chart. So let's go back over here. Let's go back to WebFOCUS. So you saw I got file in here, but now we want to go for far. So let's go back to WebFOCUS. change it from file to far. See if that one is available. Go over here, refresh. Again, if you see that effect of an icon not showing, make sure to check one that is available with the with WebFOCUS. So go back in the catalog. So it might not be there. Again, you're quite safe, but you're not fully safe. So let's go for a pie chart. Going for a pie chart. There's nothing found in here. Yeah, let me get rid of user and people in here in the filter. So there's the chart pie. So we might want to go for that one. So it's going to far chart pie. Go back to WebFOCUS. Again, put it into a text editor first. Get far from here. Put it in here. Save. Portal. So in here, it doesn't show it up now. So let's see why. Let's go for fast far pie chart. There we go. So you might find some of the icons not working, but it's always the easiest way to figure out. Look for the catalog, find your favorite icon, check it in WebFOCUS. You might need to play around, but if it's displaying, you're fine. You got a nice looking little icon in here. That's all for now. Have fun.